guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm looking a little crazy. I got them thick brows going on and just a flat looking face. But I wanted to bring these two palettes out because I just received this actually a couple days ago. And when I was looking at the colors, I was like, this looks pretty similar to this Smashbox Ablaze palette that I have. Well, of course, it's only this. Let me try to do this. It's only this bottom highlighter, that top pink shimmery blush, and then those two contour and bronzing shades. This one retails for $14.99, and then this one retails for $39. Then of course, with Smashbox, you are paying the higher price because it's brand name. But so far, let me show y'all the swatches. Ooh. I'm trying to do this. I don't know why I do this to myself, guys. Alright, so the top is the Smashbox one, and the bottom is the Catrice. Like they look pretty identical to me. Actually, the blush on the Smashbox side is a little bit more drier than the Catrice one, and the Catrice one, this blush is a little bit more warmer, and I actually like it a lot better than the Smashbox one. And then of course the highlighter does look like it's a little bit more golden than the Catrice one, but I feel like we can make these colors work. Of course, the contour shade does look a little bit more cooler on the Smashbox side versus the Catrice side, but I feel like these colors are pretty similar. So let's just get them on my face to see how they do. Right, so for my preferences, I like to actually use that darker tone shades. Well, that ain't gonna work. I like to use this type of shade with a light hand all over my face first, and then go in with this shade to kind of like, I guess, chisel it out or contour. I don't like to do a harsh contour on my face just because I just kind of don't like it as per preference. There are some times when I'm doing like a very dramatic look that I do go for that strong, like, cut contour. And I'm going to just use the same shades on the Catrice palette, this one all over the face, and then this one to just add that dimension on the cheeks. So I am going to use my Real Techniques fluffy brush. I just like using this type of brush to just, you know, go all over the face. So let's start on adding some color and dimension because I'm tired of looking at myself. So that's with one little layer of powder. Like I said, this is why I like using a big fluffy brush, because you can build up the color slowly. You don't start off with a bam, like all this color on your forehead. And then if you want to, of course, go in with another layer. And then I tend to bring it down a little bit because I do have like two-tone going on in my face. And so I am going to wipe down the brush if it has any extra product, and then go in with the Catrice palette. The Catrice palette the Catrice product is a little bit more powdery, but if it offers the same results as far as the Smashbox, I really don't care for the kickback. But the product does feel creamy and soft, so I'm not complaining about it. So this is what one also kind of overall brush on the face that I like to do at first. And it does look about the same color as the Smashbox one, but I am going to do, you know, that second layer like I did with the Smashbox bronzing shade. And again, I like to kind of bring it down because I have all these colors on my face going on. And I mean, so far, they look about the same. They look about the same to me. What do you guys think? I think so. All right, so now we're going to go in with a small, where'd it go? All right, so now we're going to go in with a small, like, tapered brush. And this one's from Morphe. It's the R14 or R14, as you would like to call it. I don't know the prices of it, but I can definitely link the prices down below if y'all are interested in them. So now we're going to go in with this shade to kind of contour and chisel. Now that one is powdery. Ooh, that made me want to sneeze. So that color is powdery, and I think there's some on my brush. And just going in where your cheekbone starts. And then I also like to bring it in at the very corner of my forehead, because I do have a larger forehead than most regular, you know, Janes. So I do tend to add that dimension to make it look smaller. With this one, I'm actually not seeing any type of like, oh, there it goes. And I also like to go under here to add that shade to make it look like don't have a double chin. And so I'm gonna wipe it off and go in with the Catrice one. Now it's funny because with the Catrice one, it does have some kickback, but not as much as the Smashbox one. Again, just putting in the same areas as I did on this side. But I do find that the Catrice one does have a little bit more pigment than the Smashbox one. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah, I'm blind. I need my glasses. All right. See, the Catrice one has more color, but it does look, no, it doesn't. It's because I have like some weird shades on my face that sometimes it makes products look like muddy, but they're not. Like if you put it all the way in the sun, it doesn't look, or maybe it does. It looks a little bit muddy, chunky. This one does look a little bit more. Why did I just do that? And this one does look a little bit more flawlessly blend out. But we're just gonna add more color to this side then. See what happens. Trying to make it look as even as we can. See with this one, so far right now, I actually like this side better just because the pigment is actually there. So the Catrice one is a little bit more pigmented than the Smashbox one. So now we're going to go in with my favorite part, the blush. And with this one, I'm going to use the Morphe E4, seeing how the blush looks like. Now the blush is, as you can tell, shimmery and has some golden flakes to it. And I personally like those type of blushes. If you don't, then don't even bother with any of these palettes, because as you can tell, it does offer that small little shimmer going on there. But I mean, the blush is blending out very beautiful, and it's very smooth on the skin. So that's how that looks like. And I'm here for that. Now, we're going to go in with the Catrice one. And again, it is powdery, but I feel like this one, I'm going in slowly because... So this one does have more of that gold reflex to it. And is a little bit more pigmented than the Smashbox one. So let me just wipe off some of that extra product. Let me grab a flat taper brush. So I'm just going to use the one that I use my foundation for because I'm going to try to even them out. There it goes. So again, the Catrice one is a little bit more pigmented versus the Smashbox one. So that's how that side looks like. And this one. Alright, so now we are going to go in with my favorite part, which is the highlighter. And we're going to use this one right here. This one has like a golden undertone and it feels really creamy and smooth on the pan. And that's how that looks like. So I really do like this look. It makes it look like it's kind of wet, and it doesn't also show as much because I do have quite a lot of texture right here. So let's see how the Catrice one does. This one actually does not have a lot of kickback like the powders do, so I feel like it's trying to have the same consistency as the Smashbox one. So I feel like they were meaning to do this as a dupe, but it doesn't have as much. Let's try to put it on there. It doesn't have as much pigment as the Smashbox one, but it does look alike. So do you have to build it up? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I think they look about the same. Let me put on my glasses. I mean, they look identical, guys, to be honest. The next test is going to be how they wear through the day, which one fades out quicker. And as far as right now, it's doing the trial test. Save ya money. Go with the Catrice one. This is the Malibu Beach Collection. So this one has 0.52 ounces. And this one has actually 0.75 ounces, but that's of course because there is an extra blush on there, which is this one. Again, if you are wanting this specific blush, then yes, go ahead. Go with this palette, and then we'll blend it out, see how it looks. I mean, I feel like this palette will work out for people of darker skin tone because these colors would be beautiful. And then this is the shade. This shade reminds me actually of the Too Faced Natural Face palette. And that's how it looks like blended out. So again, this palette is $39. The Catrice one is $14.99. I mean, of course, packaging is different. Brands, high end. This one's, of course, more drugstore friendly. But as of right now, go with the Catrice one. So I will check back in with you guys later on to see how are these colors holding up and what's going to be my final opinion. So we'll see you here in a little bit. Alright guys, so this is going to be my final check-in because I kind of already know the answer to which palette I like the best. Now please ignore, I'm not sure if you can see this little like line going through my face. My dog kind of like got on me and put her paw on my face. So, but I mean, it's still, both sides still look the same. I mean, they're still the same type of pigment. You can still see the bronzer, the blush, the highlight. It looks all the same. But for my final opinion, I really prefer the Catrice California in a Box palette, just because of the pricing, and especially because these colors would work out better for my skin tone. I mean, I'll be able to get more use out of this blush, and then as well as this highlighter versus the Smashbox, because of course the price point, $14.99, $39. I mean, it's for an extra $25 just to get 2 extra products that, I mean, to be honest, I don't really care for. Like this blush, yes, it would have been fun to use, but realistically, is it something I'm going to be using day to day? No, it's not. This highlighter, it is a little bit too dark. It does have that golden type of undertone to it, so plus already that highlight looks almost the same as the Too Faced one that's in that face palette. I mean the natural face palette. So to be honest, there's just no point in me suggesting this palette to y'all when there's a dupe out there that is way cheaper and more realistic to use. Again, I don't remember if Ulta has different palettes. I mean, if Catrice has different palettes like this. I think they had one more, but what I saw was a highlighter palette. If I am able to see that Catrice has like a different color tones of these palettes, I'll definitely let y'all know in the comment section down below. But again, so far, this is going to be the winner for me. I mean, the products within themselves, for instance, yes, this highlighter is more creamier, but on the Catrice, I mean, they're exactly alike. Now it goes for the opposite. This blush is much more creamier than the Smashbox blush. It just feels a little bit too dry for me. And then these actually have the same consistency as the Smashbox one. So that is going to be my final opinion. If you guys were interested in picking this Smashbox Ablaze palette up, but you were like, I do not want to fish out, you know, the $39 for it, definitely give this a try. This one's $14.99. Especially Ulta does provide those $3.50 off a $15 purchase. So it actually ends up being $11.50. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I think that's it. Yes, it is $11.50. So I mean, you can't beat the price. Again, this product has 0.52 ounces. It has 5 products, 2 cheeks, 2 bronzing or as you want to call it, either 2 bronzers or 2 contours, whichever way you want to go, and 1 highlighter. And then the Blaze palette has the 2 contour shades or bronzing shades, 2 blushes, and 2 highlighters. Let me know what you guys think, if you're still going to pick up the Smashbox product, because again, I mean, the quality in itself, it is great, but it is identical to a $14, well, $15 palette. So it's up to you to use that judgment on what you would prefer or what is your preferences. Just here to inform y'all on just a cheaper version if you are on a budget. Again, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Where is that blush brush? I have a mess on my vanity. I can't find nothing that I want to use. Where is that eyeliner brush?